Welcome to episode 2 of 2Women, 2Opinions. Yes, it's early and we having a little drinky drink. Just to take the little edge off. Okay, so welcome to 2Women, 2Opinions, guys. This is episode 1. If you was here for the premiere show, we really appreciate the support. We had a great time and it was an amazing show. Today we're going to start off by a small reintroduction of us. My name is Marty.
And I'm Taj.
Of course, this is 2Women, 2Opinions. And we both met at a bar we used to work at. And we decided to come together. Well, she still works there. And we decided to come together for this podcast to give you guys good content, good energy, good vibes, because that's what we give off. Yes. A little bit about me. I am a small business owner. I launched my company January of this year, and since then that's what I've been self-employed and doing things on my own. I do broadcast on different social media platforms, and of course we're doing a podcast now. So
I am a bartender at Level 1 Bar and Lounge. I teach at ABC Bartending, so my life resides around alcohol. And if I'm not doing either of those two things, I am building my social media platform. I am a brand ambassador for a few different brands. And what else do? I do a bunch of stuff, don't I?
Yes.
I'm a mom.
Of course.
And what else? I got a third job. Oh, and I have my own business. I have a private bartending business. You can check my Facebook out. It's called Wild Bartending. And I'm available all next month for any events. So, yeah, there you go.
Book her for your bartending events. And check out my website. This podcast is sponsored by Famous Gems and also Taj's company as well. So, if you guys need any information, you know where to find us. My Famous Gems with a Z on all social media platforms. And my website is famousgemswithaz.net. So, you can go check it out. I do sell lashes, masks, swimwear, and all type of good stuff from there. And how can they find you?
You can find me on pretty much any platform at Taj Wild. That's TAJWILD. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. And then Facebook, you can find me at Taj Wilder, WILDER.
Well, that's that right there. So, another thing that I did want to reiterate for this show, this is our second first episode, second episode, because our first one was our premiere. But we wanted to reiterate how important it is to support small businesses, because we all start in small business because of pandemic or whatever, whenever you started yours. And it's so important for us to stay in tune with small businesses so we can become Walmart, Amazon, and whatever.
Martyville,
whatever you want to become one day. And I feel like it's very important to support, no matter the race, no matter anything behind that. We just need you guys' support for the small business. Once again, famousgems.net, and make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you guys hitting the follow button, the subscribe button if you're watching us from YouTube, and if you're watching us from anywhere else, just make sure you coming on to Spoon, because this is where it's going to be at. Spoon is the app that it starts, and then the other apps just we're going to record and branch out from there. All right, so we're going to go right into it, y'all. We're going to go ahead and start off with our first story of today, which is one of Taj's subject.
Yes. So, I don't know how many of you have been paying attention to the news, but Texas has set a ban that is becoming a law this September that prohibits educators from discussing slavery and racism in the classroom, okay? So, Texas bans slavery and racism in the classroom, a ban that is set to become a law in September while it prevents educators from teaching certain moments in our history. The ban, soon to be a law, states that a teacher may be compelled to discuss a particular event or widely debated or currently controversial issue at a public or of the public policy or social affairs. It essentially just keeps teachers from going over anything as far as slavery, anything that went on in the 60s, anything that has to do with Black, Native American. They're basically trying to whitewash our history.
Yes, it's basically anything before segregation.
Anything before segregation. But the funny part is like you've got the Declaration of Independence where George Washington made sure that he put in the Declaration of Independence to ban slavery. So it's like you can't even talk about certain moments in history without going back to slavery and racism. So how are we going to work that around? Now again, this is just in Texas. This isn't like a national kind of thing. But you kind of have to look at Texas with the side eye. Like, what's going on down there? Why are we so compelled to focus or hyper-focus on white supremacy? I don't know. So, you want to play the clip?
Yes, let's play the clip.
Certain discussions about race or gender in the classroom could soon be illegal. Senate Bill 2022 passed the Senate last week. The House expected to take it up this week. But as KDU's Jenny Lee reports, one teachers group is fighting it because they say it would jeopardize how social studies is taught.
When Candace Hunter read Senate Bill 2202,
you're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
The former social studies teacher saw red flags.
So this document says we want you to teach the founding documents of the United States, including the Declaration of Independence. Here's a problem. Later on in the document, it says that you're not supposed to talk about controversial issues, right? Well, if we talk about the Declaration of Independence, there's a big chunk of the Declaration of Independence that was very controversial. Thomas Jefferson, being the main author, wrote out the abolishment of slavery.
Hunter belongs to Educators in Solidarity, a group of teachers fighting SB 2202 and its companion bill, SB 3879.
Teachers would not be allowed to talk about controversial issues, historical or current. I want my kids right now talking about cultural issues, especially right now what's going on in the Asian community. I want them to understand that it's not just us, right? There's other people who are experiencing this.
Leaders with the Austin Independent School District are speaking out against the bills, too.
It would limit the ability for districts to partner with industry and nonprofit providers for career and technical education.
In a committee on state affairs last month, State Senator Brandon Creighton said his bill is needed because there's too much political activism in the classroom.
This legislation will hold the line in Texas to ensure civics courses teach traditional history, focusing on the ideas that made our country great and the story of how our country has risen to meet those ideals with our history, both good and bad.
The bills also ban
traditional history. Like, what does that even mean?
Inherently superior to another race.
Like, you can't, to me, you can't teach.
That gets in the way of educating students.
How are we going to teach the Holocaust? How are we going to teach all of the revolutions in Latin America that followed the United States' revolution? How are we going to teach all of those things? Because in order to teach about justice, equality, and equity, I have to teach about inequity, injustice, right?
Critical conversations, Hunter says, teachers must have so students can have a full picture of history. In Austin, I'm Jenny Lee.
The law then goes on to say an individual should feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any other form of psychological distress on their account. That's the scapegoat, right? Like, we're gonna say, well, it's causing certain students to feel anguish and it's causing them psychological distress. I hate that the fact that we're framing this around like mental health.
Yes.
Because what happens to the Black students or the Native American students or the Hispanic students that don't get those history lessons? They start to lose their self-identity. If you're not learning this stuff at home, right? I come from a single-parent home. I know most kids nowadays come from single-parent homes or they come from co-parenting homes. So if you're not getting all of your education from your home, you're expected to get it in the schools, but now the schools are being limited on what they can and cannot discuss. And what is considered traditional education of history? Like, to me, at this point, throw the whole history class out the window. Like, you don't need it anymore. That's just my opinion. If you're not going to teach all of the history, then don't teach it at all. Because to me, traditional history just sounds more like whitewashing. Like, we're only going to teach you the things that make America glorified.
Yeah,
we're not going to teach the things that need to be addressed so that way we don't repeat history. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree. I just from the last show we spoke about when I watched that documentary of the modern day slaves that was just down in Alabama and Mississippi, and that's important. And she mentioned that we couldn't even talk about the modern day controversy situations going on. They basically trying to take anything out of the school that can protect our children from being demolished like we were in the past. I feel like it's very important, definitely with kids of color, to know their history, where they came from, so that they will, when people pick on them and say nappy hair and this and that, maybe the knowledge that they get from learning from their history will get them a comeback versus, trying to bring the next person down.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's very important. They didn't even really teach us as much as they were supposed to teach us.
Like, we already had watered down history.
Was already, and I'm like, and speaking of the Holocaust, that was one of the main reasons why I got into a debate class when I was in high school, because of the Holocaust, and they was kind of comparing the Holocaust and slavery and whatnot. So I feel like it's very important, no matter what the history is, like the good and the bad, we need to learn about it all, because these children are our future. And if we just start blanking them out, that's what I feel like. And then this is when I said I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like we're in the Mandela effect, because why are you trying to take so much away from us so that we just don't know what we came from? I just feel like it's
erasing history, essentially.
Yeah, and then, like you said, it's whitewashing, and I feel like it's a whole bunch of bullcrap, and it definitely should be approached. And teachers and mothers and parents, put your foot out there. Don't be quiet about it, because you be quiet about it, they're going to just say, okay, because this is the power of voting and all this good stuff. So
what cracks me up about it is that it's not only is it going to limit the educators from speaking on certain topics, but it's also going to negate them from teaching things that are considered morally wrong. So they'll be able to discuss the KKK, but they're not going to be able to say, well, the KKK were bad people because of this. The second they say they were bad people or infer that they are a bad person, they can lose their jobs. So we're limiting these teachers to what?
Teach.
At this point, like I said, there's no reason for a history class. If you're not going to teach all of the history, but this goes back to us as a people, we definitely need to do a better job. Maybe start opening up more African-American based public schools, so that way we can teach our history. And it's not just us. I feel like everybody deserves to have their own space. That way they can educate their culture the correct way.
Yes.
It's already bad enough that the history that we have in these classrooms isn't exactly verbatim the history that we know it to be. Fact. It's very watered down in the elementary, high school sense. So if we're not going to teach it all, then don't teach it. Like, the
textbooks are written the way that they want to teach it to us already. So now you're just trying to take away the valuable, and this is valuable information. Some of these things that if I didn't know now, I don't think I would have the intelligence that I have to even speak about it, to make a podcast, to have an opinion on it, because I wouldn't have known. I feel like it's kind of effed up, but this is the reason why we say voting is important, and we need to all stand up and try to go against this, because they're our future, and if they don't know what happened in the past, they will never know. And this is their past, mind you. So that means they won't be able to talk about what's going on now with Trump and with all the stuff that's going on with the police brutality. They won't be able to talk about none of that stuff in the near future. So keep that in mind.
There won't be no conversations about George Floyd. There won't be conversations about Trayvon Martin. You won't hear about these people because if it makes somebody, and I quote, if it makes somebody feel physical or psychologically distressed, you can lose your job. So if a student who could be Caucasian, it could be any student that feels some kind of way towards a discussion about someone else's history, that's all it is.
But just like the mass shootings and stuff, that stuff is very important.
They're not gonna be able to talk about this stuff.
They're not even gonna be able to know how.
Which blows my mind, because what are you gonna do when it comes to these? School shootings happen a lot more frequently than any other kind of shooting. And
kids know how to protect themselves now because of what's going on. If you're not able to talk about it, then it's gonna be hidden again. And this goes right back to where we came from. We came from not trying to hide stuff, putting stuff out there. And then imagine if the teacher is not teaching them what they're supposed to be teaching them in the class, and then they get on social media and learn everything. They're going to think social media is where they're supposed to learn everything.
And it's not.
Well, if you guys have any opinions about that, just drop some comments. Make sure you liking, sharing, and holding the hearts, anything on the screens that you're on, and hitting the subscribe button on the YouTube.
Subscribe on the YouTube.
Moving right along.
We're going to talk about Bill Cosby. We have to. You have to talk about Bill Cosby, right? So Bill Cosby was released from prison on July 1st after his 2018 sexual assault conviction was overturned. Cosby had a deal with a former GA, which would have kept him from being prosecuted. However, the new DA used his testimony in 2018 against him to prosecute him. So because of that, the conviction was overturned. Bill Cosby was released, and obviously there's just this whole thing behind it, right? He's not innocent, essentially. Like, now we know for sure. There is no debates on whether or not he was innocent or he's not. He testified. He basically told them the truth. Yeah, I did this, and yeah, I did that. He spilled all the beans in a private, secluded testimony. And then he was supposed to get off free. He was supposed to not be, as long as he gave that testimony, he was not supposed to be convicted. But there was a change of, DAs. So the new DA came in, and which I feel like is embarrassing for PA.
Yeah.
Like, you have a new DA come in, and
now they see it.
Bill Cosby literally be the only black man that be able to say, like, the system worked against me, but it also worked for me. So I'm just like, he's guilty. And how do we look at Bill Cosby now? Because for a while, we were all like, oh, he's innocent. Or we were just in a space of we don't want to say he's guilty, but we also don't want to say he's innocent.
Well, honestly, I don't. Okay, let's read the clip before I give my opinion. Let's listen to the clip, guys. This is a clip from
ABC 7.
ABC. So definitely got to give a shout out to the people that we're using the clips from. But this is a clip from ABC. Let's see what they're talking about.
Phone after his release that his conviction did not match the truth. Tonight, his accusers also reacting to the news. He is no longer in prison.
And nobody had the sense to say, wait 1 second, this doesn't match up with the truth. This is not what I was taught in college. This is not what I was taught at home, etc., etc.
Tonight, Bill Cosby talking to ABC News just hours after becoming a free man. His 2018 sex assault conviction overturned by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court after an appeal. Justices ruling he should not have been prosecuted because of a deal with former DA Bruce Castor that he would not be charged if he agreed to testify in a 2005 civil suit brought by accuser Andrea Constand. Today's ruling stated that in accordance with the advice of his attorneys, Cosby relied on Castor's public announcement he would not be prosecuted. But Castor's successor used Cosby's testimony as a key piece of evidence more than a decade later. Bill Cosby was convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting Constand, serving 2 of his 3 to 10 year sentence before his release today. Dozens of other women accused Cosby of drugging and sexually assaulting them. Today's news leaving many of his accusers stunned and angry.
I'm concerned that women will think that they shouldn't come forward. I can tell you, as somebody who did, it was challenging, it was scary. There were times when I was called horrible names.
Today, Cosby's longtime co-star, Felicia Rashad, tweeted support saying, quote, a miscarriage of justice is corrected.
No.
She followed that up with another tweet saying she supports survivors of sexual assault and did not intend to be insensitive, quote, their truth, Judy.
I'm in very much of a weird space because as a woman, it's like you want to see predators get locked up. That's what they deserve. That's where they should be. But because the law did not, it worked against him, right? So we did some corrupt shit. We prosecuted him on something that after it was already discussed that he wouldn't be prosecuted as long as he testified. He went on record and said, I did these things, right? So we let him off off of a technicality. And as much as we want to say this is a miscarriage of justice, is not. This is exactly how the justice system works. We went from being corrupt to actually doing the right thing. He should have never went to jail in the first place.
Exactly.
He testified against himself.
And I feel like after all, with the whole case, my opinion, this is an opinionated thing, like it's 2 women, 2 opinion. I feel like he shouldn't have never even been prosecuted in the first place. Because I feel like this Me Too movement, don't get me wrong, and I am a woman, I'm a feminist, and I don't feel like a woman should be touched or drugged or nothing, but I just feel like this Me Too movement took people and was like, let's stand together and bring up stuff. You should have said something when it happened. What happened to saying something when it first happened? Well, because he's famous, it doesn't matter. That means the case would have been already built. This wouldn't even be a question. He would have been already locked up, and everything would have been already down. I feel like that's what we're missing. When it first happened, say something. Why you could want to keep your spot on the show or whatever the case may have been. I feel like that's what we're missing with this case, and that's why it was so many people that was standing behind Bill Cosby that feel like it was injustice, such as his co-star. And I don't feel like it was much injustice.
I don't feel like it was.
I feel like it should have been a statute of limitations to it, because, like he said, he was guilty of what he did. But there
was, and that's the thing. There was statute of limitations,
and that's why he should have.
And that's why they got his testimony in the first place. There was a statute of limitation, but because they ran out of time, these women didn't speak up until years later. And I'm very in the middle when it comes to a lot of these women, too. I very much feel like there was a group of women that definitely were victims of his. And then there were women that were probably around, but they weren't involved in the way that they say. Because how many women was it? It was like damn near 100 women.
Yeah, it was a lot of women. And then this is what makes me...
He touched me. Like, I got other questions. Like, I don't know when it comes to that. So it's very a hot, cold... controversial issue, but again, I definitely feel like he was a predator. And like you said, when it first happened, and unfortunately there's a lot of women because of, think about when all this happened too. This is like the 80s and 70s, where it's like you scream rape, especially of a black man of status. It could be, you could be shoved in a closet and disappear and never be, you know what I'm saying?
And then it was a lot of people actually fake. It was like Wolf, the boy who cried wolf. It was a lot of people that was kind of lying about the situation.
When it comes to this, it's just like,
it's like
we definitely should have respected the statute of limitation. We definitely, there was just things that should have occurred. But again, a lot of people feel like you said, not to have a what's the word for it? Not to call it anything. I can't think of what it is, but the conspiracy of it was that he wanted to buy NBC, so this was a way to get him to not buy NBC. And it could be that. It could be this was just a mark to make sure that this black man doesn't elevate more than he already has. Little boy, stay in your place type shit. But, these women also deserve justice. So I'm very much on the in-between. Like, I've lost all respect for Bill Cosby. Don't get me wrong. I will still watch the Cosbys. I have no problem watching the Cosbys. I will still support in different ways because I grew up on Bill Cosby. But at the same time, I can't condone any of, him, talking to the media about this shit. I was like, sir, sit back. You don't get to voice your opinion about nothing no more.
See, I don't know, because I just feel like I'm in between with it all. I'm not in between one opinion and then I'm going straight for it and say, no, the juggler, just shut the fuck up. No, I'm in between with it all because I feel like, why not? You know what I'm saying? If you feel like the justice system was supposed to justify the situation, and they didn't, and I feel like this is his way of speaking out to say, this is why is why I'm out now, and don't look at me as this predator, because he still has that predator target on him with a lot of people, and I feel like this is his way to say, I said that I did it to get out of it. Because some people may look at it like that. Like, why did he really say that he did it? Did he say that he did it because he really did it? Because it was a private
proceedings. Like, you know what I'm saying? This happened a decade ago. This was private proceedings. So to me, it was 10 years ago. We would have never known that Bill Cosby was a predator had that new DA not come in and prosecute him with his testimony. You see what I'm saying? So there's just
that's how we look at our system. That's how we start looking at our system differently, because it's like common law. It's kind of like a common law type situation, because it's like if it was someone else, what would have been the outcome? Right. So I feel like that's when you start looking at the justice system like, really?
A little side-eye, a little off to the really. Really.
Did you think that was the smartest thing for you to do?
All right.
So
make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.
Since we
check out our YouTube, we're gonna switch over to our third topic. Yes. So, in September of last year, a couple used a smoke bomb as a part of their gender reveal, sparking the El Dorado fire. They are currently facing criminal charges. Mind you, they burned down 22,000 acres, yo. 22,000 acres because you wanted to stand in the middle of the goddamn woods in the middle, damn near of the summer, right? Because this is towards the end of the summer. This is September. Y'all stood in the woods, dry as hell, with a smoke bomb to do a gender reveal. So we're going to play the clip from, who is this from, ABC?
Yes.
80 miles east of Los Angeles, a
Inside
edition.
This massive blaze that's still burning. You know, those pyrotechnic devices that explode in blue or pink to announce the baby's sex. This scorched dry brush area is where the family staged the gender reveal party. The idea was to ignite a smoke canister to show the sex of the baby, but things quickly got out of hand. With temperatures over 100 degrees and plenty of fuel to feed the fire.
Some sort of pyrotechnic device that exploded. The fire started as a small fire and then it grew completely out of control within the first few hours.
Jenna Carvanitas is credited with starting the gender reveal trend more than 10 years ago. She says enough is enough.
We are burning down forestry. People are dying at the parties. We cannot do these anymore. This has to be the end.
Strong winds are forecast through Wednesday, which will only make the job more difficult for firefighters.
I just feel like this gender reveal shit has gotten way too carried away. Personally,
Like,
I'm not doing all that bullshit.
Okay?
I barely, like,
Cut the
honestly,
shit.
if I have another kid, I'll be on my third kid. I'd be damned, okay, to do a gender reveal at that point. At this point, I'm just showing up to the hospital. You tell me what it is after I push that bad boy out. I don't know. You burned down 22,000 acres.
Yeah, that's bullcrap.
Off of a gender reveal. So they feel like, obviously, they pled not guilty. I feel like, no, y'all deserve to take y'all asses to jail. Y'all need to sit down. Or at least probation, at the very, very least. Have probation. They got a newborn kid, right? Because it's been a year. They got about a 1-year-old now. So I definitely think that maybe, okay, so they don't have to go to jail. But you got to be on probation. There's got to be consequences for your actions. I'm not going to ask you to pay for the 22,000 acres. No, because you're paying that shit for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't ask for them to pay either because that's like asking a brick wall to fucking give you a conversation. But it's like, yeah, these gender reveals are crazy. Like, they're doing some stuff.
They're
like,
going overboard.
They're going overboard.
It's a gender reveal.
I don't know about the I mean, if you're going to do some probation, I feel like they should be doing some kind of community service. If there's going to be people out there actually working to get this stuff back up, they need to go out there.
They need to be planting them trees.
We need better, right.
They need to be
we
planting
need better.
trees.
This is what, as America, I feel like we need better punishments. We need punishments to match what you did, to fit the crime. Not saying if you murder somebody, we should just murder you, unless you did it in a torture murder way, maybe. But I'm saying, like, if you did something like, you know, stole something out of a store, you should be the person watching the cameras or something, monitor people, or you should be in the store watching other people steal. You should catch thieves.
The crime should fit punishment should fit the crime.
The punishment should fit the crime.
And that makes the most sense. Like, I definitely
they should be out there
have to go to jail. But they definitely got to go out there and replant those trees.
They need to go out there and replant.
They need to be out there with everybody digging the holes, laying the grass, seeding everything from top to bottom until the forest has been.
And God forbid this child come out with a waterhead looking like an alien, because everybody gonna be on. They gotta wait till this baby come out, because this is like the American child. This is our child now.
American
child.
Child. Right.
But no, it's like, I feel like.
Reveals but honestly, here's the thing. What cracks me up about the gender reveals is that you not only have to have a gender reveal, but you also have to have a baby shower. So it's like, to me, why are we doing all of this? Like,
it's a lot.
This child isn't even here yet. What are we doing this for? I get the baby shower because, you know, you should really, if somebody's expecting, you should put your village or your community should definitely help contribute.
Of course.
You know, we're not have to, but, you know, it's pressed
We're not, it takes a village.
It takes a village to take care of a child. So, you know, everybody play their little
But it
part.
doesn't take a forest to burn down.
22,000 acres.
Oh my gosh. I probably would
22,000 acres. Either mom's got to spend 6 months in jail, she get out, and then dad spends 6 months in jail.
Something has to happen.
It's
just not going to be nothing.
And then they also, they were convicted on multiple charges. So there was like manslaughter charges against them because somebody died. Somebody died, right? And then they burned down the forest itself. And then on top of if it's not the forest, it was like something other There's some more stuff. So they killed somebody because of a gender reveal.
A gender reveal.
It's not that damn serious.
So basically, the message of this is, if you do a gender, do it like the big babies where they dress up in a baby costume and a boy fight the girl. Get your sister or brother to get in the costume, and whoever wins, or do like a balloon release or pop. What happened to popping a balloon and the color comes out, the confetti color? Like,
it started out like the gender reveal started out very simple, very simplistic. People were just letting out balloons, or people were popping balloons.
And the fact they found,
and now we're standing in the middle of the fucking forest in September, dry season, and setting off fireworks. Like, do better. Do better.
Guys, do better with
And y'all didn't even plan for it. Where was the fire extinguisher? Like, there was
no water, like nothing. Y'all didn't plan that. Shout out to everybody that's here viewing us. Listen, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Hold the hearts. Can y'all get us on the top here on Spoon?
Right, we was number one last week.
Can somebody hold the hearts for us or whatever y'all gotta do?
Hold the hearts.
It was something that they did. So that was that's our opinion on that. I mean, well, that's not really our opinion. That was just the shout out with the show. So right now, before we get into the halftime break, we're gonna do a small business shout out. This is something where you guys can definitely participate each and every week.
Yes,
if you have a small business and you would like a shout out, there's no cost to it. It's just the fact that you came in and heard this part means you support us because you're listening. Send in information of your small business, even if you want to do like a small little sentence or whatever that you want to put together for me to, or for us to shout out your small business. We definitely will do that because we'll have a small business little segment every show from now on. So let's start off with Transcend Jury. If you guys see my bracelets, I can show you too. See my bracelets. These bracelets, they're crystal form. They are from Transcend Jury. It's transcendjury.com. She does these by hand. Each and every bracelet is made by hand. She actually saged the bracelets, and they all have different meanings, such as confidence, wealth, and abundance, and different like spiritual healing and different stuff like that. I also have a anklet on as well. I'll show you guys. This is the anklet that I have. That she made for me, so you guys can check it out. It's Transcend Jury on social media as well, all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and it's transcendjury.com to check out those bracelets. Definitely check it out. And she also does customs as well. Bling by Ash. She's located in Cincinnati, Ohio. I just want to give her a special shout out because she made me a necklace that says Marty. I just think it's super dope. I don't have it on right now. I know I should have just brought it in here since I was shouting her out. But it's cool. It's cool. It's really nice. Just check it out. It's called Bling by Ash. The same name is on Facebook and Instagram as well. We're going to let Todd shout out her company.
And then, of course, there's my business. I have a private bartending business. You can book me at Facebook. I also have what is that account called? I can't even think of what it's called right now. So just book me on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Taj Wild, and my business is Wild Bartending.
Period. And last but not least, which is the sponsor of the podcast, Famous Gems. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok is Famous Gems with a Z.net. I have swimwear, lashes, masks, all that good stuff, even some shoes. So if you guys are in here, please make sure you hitting the subscribe button, like button, share button, all that good stuff. We are on Spoon. If you on any other platform, it's Spoon like the utensil. 2 Women, 2 Opinions.
Spoon. I'm getting requests for us to jump on Clubhouse too, so that's something that we can figure out.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. Yeah, I know a few people actually on Clubhouse. It's just it's more of an open scene unless we keep it closed.
No, we can keep it closed.
Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if y'all want to see us on other platforms, just let us know. DM us on y'all small business because we'll do. We have 50,000 devices over here, guys. So we ready for whatever. All right, so we're about to get it. It's about to be our 45-minute break, which is gonna be in like 3 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and give y'all a little sneaky peeky.
Check my DMs. Go ahead.
No, we talk to the people at the same time. Hello, everybody. If you want to find the podcast live, it is on Spoon. Spoon. It's on Spoon. It's Spoon, like SPOON, like the utensil. You can find us at 2Women, 2Opinions. Just check out the profile pictures. You'll see it. Every Thursday we'll be here. So, right now it's about to be a halftime break, guys. We're going to give y'all some music that we listen to personally. I love the fact that Taj liked to listen to a lot of local artists. That's kind of dope to me. She got me hip to a few artists last week. So, if you guys don't know, we are in Las Vegas. So,
yes, and if you are in Las Vegas, please send us your local music. We want to play it. We want to promote you as much as possible.
Yes, we are here, and it doesn't cost a dime to get promoted over here, guys. The fact that you came in to listen to us, that's support. So we're willing to support you as well. Now, if you want to send us some gifts on Spoon, you can, and come and get us the top, because we was number one last week.
We was number one last week,
Why y'all doing us like this?
We're top 62 today. Like, what we doing?
All right, so let's give y'all a sneak peek. This is a sneak peek of what we're going to talk about after the halftime break, guys. We got a few stories. Keisha Cole mom, we have a story about her, if you haven't heard it. And then the Taylor Girls from YouTube. I don't know if you guys know who the Taylor Girls is from YouTube. So while we on our halftime break, if y'all don't know who they are, just Google them real quick. They came from YouTube, and while we speaking of small business, they came from the bottom. Like, they started their channel by pranking each other, pranking their mom, pranking their sister, pranking everyone in the house, and it kind of blew up, and now they're like making a lot of money. With that being said, we do have a story about them coming after the halftime break. The halftime break is when we take time out. You guys, use the restroom, get us something to drink, get us a snack if we need to, take another shot, because we be drinking early, y'all. We need to slow down.
I got kids.
But we need to take a shot or whatever.
Y'all.
And then we come back after that and let you guys listen to some kind of some music that we like to hear. It might not be the music that you're hearing on the radio, which is fine. Like, we trying to get y'all hip to some new stuff. So me, I'm going to let y'all hear my girl, Monica, because I love her. And I want to hear this song. So, yeah. And, well, YouTube, we will see you guys after the halftime break, YouTube, because y'all can't get music. Love you.
It was not recorded.
Welcome back from the halftime, guys. Welcome back. As we spoke about before the halftime break, we had a few more stories to speak about. The first one we're going to talk about is Frankie, Keisha Cole's mom. Which is so sad. Keisha Cole's mother, Frankie Lawrence, has passed away from an overdose after a long fight battle with addiction. Her family has confirmed to TMZ she was 61 years old. Damn. So let's go ahead and listen to this clip. They said something in the first one. Whatever. So basically, as you guys know, she was on a few reality TV shows with Keisha Cole. She was hilarious. Everyone loved Frankie, and apparently, which was definitely confirmed by the family members, that she died. She had a relapse on drugs in Oakland at her 61st birthday party. She was at her home, at her California home. I just want to send my condolences out to the family. Absolutely. Definitely to Keisha Cole. Losing a mother it's nothing like losing a mother, like a parent. Anyways, I know that feeling probably sickening. No matter if she was battling drugs or anything, it really doesn't matter. She still was her mom. And if you have anything to say, I just wanted to take a little moment of silence.
It's sad that she's watched her mother go through this her entire life, because she's always struggled with drugs. I think we all, even I don't get too far into reality TV, but I did catch Keisha's when it was on. I was like forever ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
I did catch a few episodes here and there, and it just sucks that she has to I guess maybe there's a little bit of relief there too, because you gotta have to look at it like that. The fact that she's been going through this with her mother probably most of her life. And now, she can finally say, well, at least she's at rest.
Yeah, and
whatever high she was chasing, she's at rest.
And I'm not going to say, we can talk about, we can have a little conversation about it. Let's just give her a little moment of silence, guys. And I guess I could just play this video as it's kind of sad music anyways.
Sad music. 2019.
Well, shout out to Keisha Cole, and as we just read, she has not made a public statement about her mother's death just yet. I think we definitely have to start taking time to be humans and giving people time to grieve. Even though she is a celebrity and we knew the news was going to get out to the media, I just feel like we still need to give people their space and time to grieve at moments like this. But I definitely want to send my condolences out to Keisha Cole. As we seen, she was trying to fight towards her sobriety. It did not work out for her. Sometimes God just want his angels. So he wanted her and he took her right with him. And I feel like it was, like you said, it's just sometimes a sense of relief.
It's probably a little bit of both. Like, it's probably really horrific that her mother is gone, but it's also probably like, ooh, at least she's at rest. Like, whatever she was chasing, it's now at an end. She's at peace. Because I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like after everything that they've been through, definitely with us, the people being in their business for so long, with them doing reality TV and with Keisha Cole being a celebrity, now.
But that's every mother's dream. I mean, to some extent.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want
until you get there.
Right. You don't want to force your kid into that direction, but at the same time, if your kid hits big, it's almost like, oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I totally agree. So I definitely, like I said again, let's send our condolences out to the family and friends, because we know Frankie was loved. So, excuse me. With that being said, we're gonna move along. We love you. Love you, Frankie.
Health in the Black community definitely has to be addressed. Yes.
Of course. And that's definitely a conversation to be had, because I feel like a lot of us fail to realize that our family and friends may be going through things, and we see it. And we just feel like, oh, that's just what they want to do. This is who the person that they are. You know.
Can't change them. You can't help them. You can't fix them. It's like, no, we're not trying to fix you, but if you need help, we all should be able to stand by each other and get you through whatever it is that you need to get through. Because, I mean, honestly, you could, from that clip that we just saw, like, Keisha has always been there for her mother, no matter what. No matter disagreements, whatever craziness her mama put her through, whatever, she's always been a ride or die when it came to her mother. So it's just, you may not be able to pull them out the fire, but at least you could, you know what I'm saying, water it down to some degree.
R.I.P. Frankie. And speaking of mothers and daughters, I feel like this is definitely a good story to piggyback off of this. If you guys don't know, like I told you before the break, the Taylor girls, they came from YouTube, worked their tails off from YouTube, pranking each other on prank videos, and then they went from there to pursue their rap career. Everyone knew that they were rappers. They just did the YouTube first, which was smart, because they was able to gain money and put the money behind them. So when they launched their rap careers, it was on the floor from there. So shout out to them. And it was just a story recently to where they posted a YouTube video yesterday. They basically asked their mom to retire from work. So here's a little clip, and then I will have a conversation about it. And if you want to watch the whole YouTube video, just go to Taylor Girls on YouTube. Who that? So she's basically pulling money out the bag. And we can put the clip in on the YouTube video.
I would have took that money out the bag, grabbed my phone, and texted whoever the fuck needed to be texted, and I'm not coming in on Monday. I wish y'all good luck in life.
Extra little starter pack, pay up some bills, pay a couple of your little bills.
Pay off that house.
I got some more here, some more.
Pay off your car.
Some tissue, some
Okay, so what the clip you guys just heard was basically the Taylor girls giving their mom a big bag of money in a tissue box full of money. It was I don't know, people, it was a lot of different numbers out there. I really could not find the exact amount that it was, and of course they didn't tell. Why would they tell anybody how much they gave her? You just go see how much. I feel like it was at least 100 G's. I don't know, because they are making that kind of money. YouTube pays. Definitely, if you was one of the first people on there building your platform, it pays. And they have 2.2 million followers, subscribers on YouTube. So they get some money. Plus their Ty, which is the one that in the white, she started her Instagram modeling, so she actually get paid for endorsements and stuff from Instagram. So she's making a clean lump sum. And what the video is basically about is them proposing to their mom for her to quit her job, her early retirement plan, so that she can start working, pay up some bills, and have an extra money for the side. And I feel like that's dope. That's every mom's dream, like you just said. That's why I said I feel like
you want the best for your kids, and you hope that they become like super successful. I think that your mom probably feel that way. My mom probably like, I hope you hit so big one day that you'll have everything that you want and more. But the fact that they have everything they want, and they took everything that they want and then gave it to their mother, and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you took care of the people that took care of you. I like that.
Yes, I feel like that's super dope. Oh, yes, come on, get us to number 1 like we was last week. So, like you said, that's every mom's dream. That's every parent dream, no matter who you are, so that your kids can hit big and go somewhere in life. So, I feel like that was super dope for them to do. And those young ladies, they've been working really hard. Yeah. They really don't just sit there and joke around. Like, they work hard. They turn their camera on. They get it popping. They make sure that stuff is going for their YouTube channel. They post every single day. I don't know if people really know how hard it is for
to post every single fucking day.
Post every day. That it is not
to
easy.
Edit a video, even like if it's a 3-minute 60-second video, that takes time. That is time out of your day.
Yeah,
that
it's very much time
easy.
consuming. So so the last little story that I got to talk about before we go ahead into our plugs and handles is, so it was this, so someone made a fake Nicki Minaj page, and they wrote Summerella, and they wrote her, say, "What's good, it's Nicki Minaj. I'm on my private account, but anyways, child, I'm planning on buying Papa Bear and Richie Millie so he can be the youngest to own one. But I'm short. May you cash out me $500 so I can buy him one." First of all, stop. Nicki Minaj is not writing nobody for no freaking $500. Like, it'd be different. I don't know. Maybe it would have said $500 grand. Right, like, if $500, like, come on now. Like, you knew that.
Even if it was $500 though, I don't care. Like,
I don't feel like
ain't no blue check mark next to that motherfucker. Right, I ain't responding. Okay. And even then, I'm still gonna be like.
And so Summerella wrote back and said, "Sure, what's your cash app?" And then they wrote back and said, $ Nicki the Boss Ninja. Okay, I'm sending it. Should be coming from you $, you a damn motherfucking lie. And then her caption was, "Y'all taking it too far, man. My DMs, y'all sick in the head." That was funny. I feel like that was
too motherfucking far. Like,
y'all taking this shit
now we
too
out here impersonating motherfucking celebrities to get $500. $500. I don't care if it was $2. I'm not sending shit to no random ass account.
Nobody was sending you nothing that way.
Here.
That don't even make sense. Like,
fuck
come on
out
now.
of here.
Y'all
I'm
gotta
not
be
doing none of
smarter
that
than
bullshit. That is funny as hell.
That motherfucker said $500.
If you could just send $500 so I can pay this off. Like, who? Wait,
child, please.
Wait. Why is Nicki Minaj out here reaching out to random ass? Not even a C-list. Like, I ain't trying to do Summerella, but she's very much low on the totem pole as far as celebrities. Why would she reach out to Summerella for $500?
For $500.
$500?
Really?
I can't.
All right, let's stop playing with these children's. Everybody that's entering our lap on Spoon, can y'all please make sure y'all sending some gifts, putting some hearts down there, sharing the lap, and becoming a fan or whatever. We do follow everybody back after the broadcast end. We probably can't do it now, but we do follow everybody back after the broadcast end. Okay. So before the gag break, we got a few minutes. I don't know, our stories. We had stories today, but it wasn't.
What?
They wasn't reaching time frame, so.
Oh yeah, I thought we talked about them long enough though.
I know, right? We did. Like, no.
Are we over?
So what we're gonna do right now is plug our handles.
Oh, hour's not bad though.
Yeah.
Hour's not bad.
I was thinking like 1:30, because then we got this. So it'll be 1:30.
Yeah,
that's cool. All right, so right now we're gonna just plug our social media handles, guys. If y'all please can follow us. You can find me at Famous Gems with a Z on all social media platforms, and you can also find me at Miss Summer on Tag, and you can find our stuff at 2Women, 2Opinions on. It's gonna be on all social media platforms as well, but definitely on Spoon and YouTube, babies.
You can find me at Taj Wild, and that's TAJWILD. On any platform, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find me at Taj Wilder, WILDER, on either my Facebook page or my actual Facebook account.
Alrighty, guys. So right now, as we about to go into the gag break, y'all know what the gag break is. If you ain't from, it's like I'm playing. We act like we only did. I only act like we did one show. The premiere. If you came to the premiere show, you will know what the gag break is. The gag break is basically right before we go ahead and do our closing for our opinions and everything on each story. We're gonna recap each story that we talked about today. Replug our social media handles and have you subscribe to us on YouTube. So. If you guys want any song y'all want to go ahead and request to play, we can do that right now. Oh, shit. Taj got a song. So right now it's a gag break, y'all. We about to take a gag break, and then after the gag break, we're going to come back and recap all of the stories that we talked about today. So you guys, if you missed it, you will not miss it.
I don't have a song. Alright. Oh, I thought we had a song. Keita.
Oh, yeah, we do have a song. One of the people in the comments. Here we go. Child, please.
We got like 50 devices running.
Do y'all thing.
Why you had to pick the song that start out like this though?
What's this? All right, guys, welcome back from the gag break. Welcome back. What?
Top 5 though. Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. All right, welcome back from the gag break, guys. So we're gonna just close out with the stories that we talked about today. Go ahead, take them away, Taj.
So to recap, we started the segment talking about Texas' ban on basically free speech. Just saying, to some degree. But educators won't be allowed to teach slavery or racism in the classroom because it will cause psychological distress on students. And I just still don't like the fact that we're making this about mental health and we're not trying to educate our youth. In order for us not to repeat history, we need to know our history. So to take away an educator's right to teach certain aspects of our history, which is to me impossible, is bullshit. Like I said, if you're gonna have a history class, if you're not gonna teach history, then don't have a history class.
I agree. I totally agree with you. Just like the last one we talked about at the premiere show, the modern day slaves that we still had that was just released, not even in 2018. I just feel like it's sickening to not know where we come from and trying to take the knowledge away from the children, our youth, which is our future. And we, like we reiterated, we're not only talking about slavery from the past, we're talking about modern day slave, we're talking about the police brutality, the mass shootings in the school. All of that information is being taken away. So let's be realistic and let's be very vigilant to what's going on and knowing what the kids are what's going to be taken away from the children in the future. So it's not just about slavery in the past, it's about what's going on now could be taken away from them in the future.
Yes. The next segment that we discussed was Bill Cosby and him being released from jail on July 1st.
Thank you, DJ.
Again, still very much in the middle. I respect the fact that the law worked the way that it was supposed to. In the first place, it should have never happened. The law should have done its job the first time around. So did it do exactly what it does to every black man that sets foot in a courtroom? Absolutely. But it also did exactly what it was supposed to do and make sure that he got taken out of prison because he should have never been prosecuted in the first place. But is he a monster? Yes. Did he commit a crime? Yes. But as far as anything else goes, whether or not, it was 50 women or 2 women or 1 woman, it definitely, to me, is going to keep women from speaking up when things like this happen. Like, if anything, if a celebrity touches you, what do you do now?
I just, like I said when we first started speaking about the story, what happens when you start speaking of it when it happened? Why do we have to wait years and decades? And
Absolutely.
Me Too movements and hashtags eventually say something. If you're a woman and you're being sexually assaulted in any kind of way, speak up. If you can remember it 10 years from when it happened, you definitely remembered it when it first happened. Now, I don't agree with predators sexually abusing women. I don't. But I do agree with a statute of limitation. If you was afraid to speak up then, you should be afraid to speak up now. I feel like the man was old, blind, crusty, and busted when y'all took him to jail. And y'all need to be ashamed of yourself. After y'all told him that if he pleaded guilty to himself, y'all was not going to take this man to jail. So with the justice system, I feel like y'all should shove it up y'all ass. But definitely, I definitely agree. As a woman, we have to start standing up with each other. And I feel like us as sisters, as sisterhood, maybe if I could talk to you and you could be the one that speak up for me. Something has to happen as far as speaking up. But I feel like we need to speak up when it happened and not 16 decades later when a man is fucking blind and almost crawling into the fucking jail cell. Thank you.
The third segment was about the couple that used a smoke bomb to do their gender reveal, and now they're facing multiple criminal charges,
including manslaughter,
y'all, because they killed somebody and they burned down 22 acres of fucking forest. So it's just like, again, very much in the middle. I want to not see them go to jail, but you gotta, like you said, the crime has to, or the punishment has to fit the crime. Mm-hmm. So either y'all need to be out there every day planting trees, seeding the grass, making sure shit gets together, or mom spends 6 months in jail and then dad spends 6 months in jail. Y'all get probation. Something has to happen. Y'all can't just walk away scot-free. Y'all burned down 22
I totally agree. Like, I don't feel like, okay, this is my thing. Taking people away. Because, first of all, they didn't go out there intentionally trying to set the forest on fire. Let's start there. They did not go out there intentionally doing that. But it happened, okay? So I feel like they should be out there planting trees, building cabins, and unfortunately that person was killed. But that's just like say for house, if a house catch on fire and someone dies in the house, you're not blamed for it unless you know what I'm saying. Yeah. If you downstairs cooking and your house catch on fire and your little cousin died upstairs, you're not blamed for it because it's an accident. So it definitely was an accident as far as the manslaughter. But maybe they can be modern day slaves for the family of the person that they killed.
Some. I don't know. You gotta plant some trees. You gotta donate your time. You gotta do something.
Okay. So I just feel like maybe they should be planting trees and getting the forest back to what it was. Because that was a hell of an incident, and it was very much
22,000.
It was very much
that
travel.
22,000 motherfucking acres. Okay.
Hello, everybody that's coming in. This is 2 Women, 2 Opinions. The podcast is streaming right now from Spoon app, but we do have other cameras on. We have like 5 cameras looking at us. Hey,
I'm live right now on IG. If y'all want to slide,
I'm on Tag Live, and we have
we're
filming the YouTube video,
and then we got back up. We just all over the place. We got 30 devices in here.
Okay. All right. So the next story that we had was Keisha Cole mom, Frankie. She passed away from a drug overdose on her 61st birthday in Oakland, California, while she was celebrating her birthday at her home. It's definitely a sad situation. as Todd mentioned earlier, I feel like it's probably a sense of relief for Keisha Cole with all that her and her mom has been through. But it's definitely a sense of hurt. You know, you losing anyone, definitely a parent is always going to be that hurt inside. Everyone loved Frankie. She was funny as hell. She crazy as hell. And I just want to say that at least she died in the comfort of her own home, and it was definitely at a peaceful moment because she was surrounded by people that she loved.
Mental illness, y'all, is a real thing, and drug addiction is a real thing. So you know, like I said, I give Keisha her respect because she, no matter what, she held it down for her mama. Like she, no matter what they went through, what craziness her mom put her through, she definitely held her down.
That's a fact. And piggybacking off of that story with another mother and daughter story, the Taylor Girls, which are a very successful YouTube channel that actually started their rap career from the YouTube money that they received. They actually gave their money, an undisclosed amount of money, yesterday for an early retirement gift. Yes. And I feel like that's dope. All parents definitely look for their children to become something and eventually take them from, even if, you know, my mom, she always said shit like, oh, I can't wait till one of my kids buy me an island. Like, what happened to the house and car? But that's just my mom. So I definitely want to shit, because I know I've researched it. You know? I mean, you can actually buy an island. You can actually buy an island, so I'm gonna buy her ass an island with nothing on there. It's not gonna be a house or nothing. It's gonna be here in a piece of dirt in the middle of the water. Since that's what she wants.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's the goal for all of us eventually one day, is to be able to retire our parents. And then, you know, for me, I have kids, so my goal is to see my kids do something with their lives.
Definitely.
So, you know, so wait and see.
Definitely. I do have a breaking story that I wanted to release. The world is a crazy place, you guys. So this lady, someone just sent this to me. So this lady, she posted this. She said, so this happened tonight. Pretty scary. I was home alone. You'll hear my husband jump into the ring audio after a bit. He wasn't here. I was hiding where the guy couldn't see me, and I never said a word. The whole beginning, he was talking to himself. Police were called. The lady from 911 stayed on the line until the cops got here. Files was reported, and I showed him the video. Searches for him enough to arrest if they find him. Hubby is home now. Lock the doors, friends. All right, so this happened last night to this lady on her Ring camera. People are nuts.
Can you hear me?
Wait.
Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions. Are you sure? What? Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure?
Hello?
Are you positive? Are you sure? I just have a couple questions for you.
Oh my God.
Are you sure? Are you positive? I just have a couple questions for you.
That's hella scary, girl.
First and foremost,
How do they call it?
I'm not answering the door for Hank Hill, okay?
Okay, why you out there looking like Hank?
I'm not answering the thugged out Hank Hill. I'm not.
How are you? What?
Why would it?
Hold on, it's her husband. It's her husband.
Who are you?
Yeah, I just had a couple questions. I just wanted to ask you about
Yeah, can you hear me? What I'm looking for is the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm in a neighbor in Canada. You have her open the door?
He go do what?
The girl that's on the other side of the door. I want to raise her killer to have a knife, a gun. And I just want to knock on the door again. All right.
had me all the way fucked
Hold
up.
on, this man said I want to rape her and kill her.
I have a knife. See, again, not answering. That'll make you not want to move nowhere where there's
See,
hate killed.
baby, let me tell you, that is scary as So basically, what y'all just listen to is a video. It's a video of a door camera, and it was a guy knocking on the door, and the husband eventually interrupted the audio and said, "What do you want? What can I do for you?" He said, "I just want to ask the question. I want the girl from in the inside to come to the door, answer the door, so I can rape her and kill her. I have a knife and a gun." Huh?
Girl,
Excuse me, say what?
I'm moving out the neighborhood.
Child, please. Yes.
I'm not listening to
It
no
was
more.
the DoorDash
Fuck what you
cam.
talking about.
And the man said, the husband on the camera said, "What do you want?" He said, "I want to ask the question." He said, "What do you want?" He said, "I want the girl in the house to open up the door so I can rape her and kill her. I have a knife and a gun."
Girl, I promise you.
He said, "Yes, I want to rape her and kill her."
I promise you I'd move. I wouldn't give a damn if they caught that man or not. If they caught him, yay.
That
if they
is
didn't
so
catch him, I'm still
scary.
motherfucking moving. I'm not staying in that motherfucking house. Hell no. Just some random Hank Hill from up the street, tattooed out, knocking on my door, talking about he wanna. No,
He
absolutely
said, "I want to rape her and kill her if she opened the door."
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You couldn't tell me nothing.
Okay,
else.
so that was a breaking story, guys. We probably will have a breaking story here and there. Definitely with my people's on the back end. I got a whole production team, second plan. But yeah, so that was a breaking story. Right. It just somebody tagged me on Facebook. But yeah, so that's the story. You can find it. Her name is Amanda Nowak. I don't know if she wants this on her page. Maybe she should just switch the page or like give it to like a TMZ type thing, so it won't have to be on her page anymore. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And what we're going to do is go ahead and do our social media handles and our YouTube subscribes, and we'll be out of you guys' hair. Please. Oh, we top 3. Can we get to top 1, please? We keep asking y'all.
Thank you.
Oh, he gave us 100 spoons.
Thank you.
All right. So my name is Marty.
And I'm, my bad. I'm Taj. I didn't know if you
No,
were
that was perfect. My name is Marty. And we are definitely going to be here every Thursday with interesting stories. Today we talked about a few different things such as political and, social media and famous people, celebrity type noise. And I definitely want to talk about another story, but we'll save it for next week. I'll tell you what's at the end. And thank you guys so much. If you was not able to catch us on Spoon, it started at 10 a.m. You can always catch us on YouTube. YouTube will be posted later today. It's going to be a whole video will be posted on there. And if you cannot watch it here, watch it there. Subscribe to everything. Be our fan. Be our friend. And make sure you hold everything.
Opinion.
2 Women, 2 Opinion everywhere. 2 Women, 2 Opinion. All right. Do you guys have any questions? We'll take a few minutes to answer some questions because we got like 2 minutes left. All right. We can close out YouTube. All right, YouTube. See you guys later.
See you next week.